You've seen those magazines that rank Anchorage against other cities. Things like the 100 safest places to live or the best city to get a job in. The Anchorage Economic Development Corporation has a plan to move Anchorage up in the rankings, making it the #1 city in America to live in by 2025.
The whole purpose is to make this a better environment for people to live and work and play, which is an important part of the decision-making process of a company as to where it's going to move, where it's going to make an investment.
A lot goes into a catchy slogan. The main thing is keep it simple and make it memorable.
It doesn't get in the way with the message. It's contemporary. This has to last for 15 years.
A campaign like this would usually cost $10,000 to $20,000. The people who came up with this slogan saw the value of selling a better Anchorage, so they did it for free.
There are so many words that can describe Anchorage. We thought we'd ask people what 3 words they would use when writing a marketing campaign. My name's Ashton, I'm with Channel 2. So we're asking people, if they were to market the city, what 3 words would you use? So we're having them just write it on the board here.
Breathtaking.
Wow.
And sun.
It's nicer than Fairbanks.
Hey, I like your slogan. All right. But I'm not supposed to say that. We love you, Fairbanks. Okay.
The marketers came up with their 3-word slogan by asking people 2 questions. Why do you live here? And why would you leave?
Live, work, play.
So you bought into the marketing campaign then, huh? You think it's an easy thing to market?
Probably not, but if you're the right person, you can do it. Good job of it.
The Occupy Anchorage people, an offshoot of the Occupy Wall Street protest, believe grassroots marketing works best.
I don't know about you guys, but for me, this is home.
Our words to explain Anchorage.
I was born and raised Anchorage, so this is home.
While doing our marketing research, we ran into Assemblymember Patrick Flynn, who gave us the local government's perspective on how to market the city.
Fun, there's all kinds of great things to do here, and amazing. Just great people, great culture. What else could you possibly want?
Just an amazing assembly.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, thanks, Patrick.
Thanks, Ashley. Have a nice
You
afternoon.
too.
Everyone seemed to have nice things to say about Anchorage, mostly about the way they lived, where they worked, and how they play. Maybe the marketers were onto something.
It's a beautiful place.
It's a beautiful state. Ever since I came here, I always love Alaska.
It's a big, beautiful, diverse place.
Big, beautiful, and diverse.
Imagine what a gull sees when flying over the ocean, what it feels like to watch the waves below and just glide over them.
Today, the stars have aligned for the kite surfers in Alaska. We're calling this Big Wednesday, and because we have a strong west wind blowing in right now.
When Tom Fredericks flies on water, he doesn't think of himself as a bird or a plane.
It's like I'm Superhuman or Super Mario.
A real-life Super Mario with jumping powers.
I've probably jumped over 60 feet before on water.
We're always watching the wind. And when we see the wind, we're watching the pressure and waiting for things to line up. And when they do, we go.
Kiting is like surfing and flying put together. But when taking on 6 to 8 foot waves, even the superheroes of the sport sometimes have to ask for a little help.
Oh dear God, please don't let me get pummeled by one of these big waves.
It's definitely a sport that you want to take instruction on how to do. It's like if you just gave me your keys to your airplane, you wouldn't want me to take your airplane for a fly.
People driving by feel compelled to stop, and soon waves of spectators blow in to watch.
A lot of people are out here today, and what is it? We're 2:30, 2:45, and it's a work day. Everyone's out here watching. I take pictures and watch them. I'm pretty amazed by them, of their agility and just how brave they are to go out there.
The first question people usually ask is, how could they get into it? it begins on the beach.
And that's the first lesson I do for everybody. It helps you get used to learning how to fly the kite, learning how to keep the kite in the air.
There's no better way to explain that feeling of flying than to harness the wind yourself.
If I pull to the left, the kite will move to the left. If I pull to the right, the kite will move to the right. And it's like, with this particular kite, it's only about an inch adjustment. So if I pull an inch to the left, it'll fly to the left.
Oh, wow.
But what I have to do is, in order to stop it from hitting the ground, I have to correct it back to the right.
Nobody can learn kite surfing in a day.
Look, I'm pretty good at this.
You're doing great.
Don't hit me. I'm a natural. I'm not going to hit you.
You get an idea of the power behind the kite without getting in over your head. Basic kiteboarding theory seems easy enough.
Put me out on the water now. Whoa, maybe not.
But it will take a few more lessons before we take on water.
You, Ashton, will be swallowing some water. Yes, beginners do, because beginners typically have their mouths open because they're so excited.
I don't feel superhuman yet, but like these guys, maybe a little more in touch with the power of nature. With photographer Jessica Hoffman, I'm Ashton Goodell, day tripping on the Homer Spit. Rebecca, John Martin was arrested for being out of compliance with the sex offender registry. Now, with that kind of history, not everyone agrees he's the best voice to challenge the ordinance. But the spat between the mayor and one protester is all the talk in the streets of Anchorage.
These are people who are supporting the protest of the mayor.
From where John Martin is sitting, the mayor's proposal to ban sitting on downtown sidewalks is targeted specifically at him.
Seems pretty clear that they're trying to get me off the corner. They don't want me here. Peace, my friend.
For more than a month, he sat in front of City Hall, challenging Mayor Sullivan's policies on homelessness. He asked to meet with the mayor to talk specifically about the city's clampdown on homeless camps.
He needs to represent everybody. He's created a division between the people and isolated certain segment of the population and put policies against them.
He's blocking pedestrian traffic.
At a press conference this week, Mayor Sullivan talked about the ordinance he plans to bring forward to the Assembly.
Quite frankly, this is a public safety issue, and like with all public safety issues, if we can pass an ordinance that leads to a safer community, we're interested in doing it.
Sullivan says he doesn't intend to meet with Martin until he's made himself presentable and went through the proper channels. After the mayor's press conference, police arrested Martin Wednesday for being out of compliance as a sex offender. Martin was convicted in 2005 for sexually abusing a minor. He believes the arrest was meant to silence his protest.
Of course, he's going to use that against me because it's in my past. But it doesn't have the effect that he would desire. It just creates more attention.
Officials at the Anchorage jail say he posted bail and went back to his corner, where he found a new group of followers dedicated to his cause. John Martin's protest is all the talk downtown, and from corner to corner, there's an interesting cross-section on the issue.
Get a job.
Peace, John.
John Strajewski is homeless and supports the mayor. He says social services are more than adequate in Anchorage.
I don't think it's about homeless people. I think it's about John.
Some don't support him, but some support his cause and even took over his corner on 6th and G.
I'm not here supporting John Martin or what he's here for. His plight is different than mine. Mine is more so, I'm a regular guy that comes downtown every day. I utilize the sidewalk, I walk on it, I sit on it, and if I deem necessary, I'll sit wherever I'd like to because it's my right as an American.
I agree with the mayor. This guy don't represent the homeless very well. I mean, he's got a record.
A small crowd that couldn't stand for the ordinance pulled up a seat in protest.
I just put it out on Facebook, my Facebook, and I said I was going to be down here at noon.
Saying this may be the first time sitting idly by will change something. The mayor plans to bring the ordinance in front of the Anchorage Assembly Tuesday. Rebecca?
All right, thanks for that report tonight, Ashton.
Well, next week, Alaskans will know what to expect from this year's permanent fund dividend, but until then, it's anyone's guess.
Yeah, a lot of people are making guesses, too, I got to tell you. Every year, Channel 2 makes a PFD prediction of its own based on numbers supplied by the state.
Channel 2's Ashton Goodell has done the math and has a guess. Ashton.
Well, Mike, Maria, we have a formula that usually gets us pretty close, but this year we called in some extra help. Not the Department of Revenue like you might expect. They're pretty tight-lipped this time of year. So we asked a used car salesman.
Until the governor announces the PFD amount in a few weeks, all the people who know the number are keeping it quiet.
We started the PFD just advertising it roughly 3-4 weeks ago.
So we went to the guys willing to share their best guess.
Well, the estimate that we're using is $1,000. That's usually a little conservative.
Car dealers often take PFD checks as a down payment. Their guess is usually pretty close, but they underestimate by $100 to $200 just to be safe.
I would say what we're looking to do is pretty much what the state does and what everyone's thinking right now. What's the average over the last several years? So let's hope it's right around that $1,000, $1,100 mark.
Everyone has their own guess of what the PFD will be. At Channel 2, we have a formula to figure it out. We start with the amount transferred over for dividends. $800 million. Next, we take the beginning balance, which is an average of the last 3 years, and we add that, which is about $9 million. So that simple math leaves us with 809,631. But we're not done. There's a lot more. So we're gonna take this number and put it up here. Subtract out the amount for reserves. And that's an average of the last 3 years. And we get another big number. So we take our number and divide it by the number of applicants. When you divide out these numbers, you get the check amount. Drum roll, please. It is $1,203.45. Let's see what people have to say about that.
Last year was what, $1,281 you said? So like $1,250.
Well, is that enough? Would you want more?
I think that's plenty.
The amount goes up and down based on a number of factors, like how many people apply and how investments did on the stock market.
$1,359. Is that just wishful thinking, or?
No, I think it's going to go up. They made some money. Of course, they lost money, but that's after the fact.
At this point, it's anyone's guess. Positive thinking might be just as effective as math.
Whoa, it's never been that high.
No. 1,056 I meant to put.
That guy had a pretty big guess, but once again, our number is $1,203.45. That's about $80 less than it was last year. Next week, the governor will announce the real number. And funny story, Mike, Maria, earlier today, somebody came out and thought we were selling the car for $1,200. That would be a really good deal. But
Really good deal.
Quite a deal with all the TV equipment in the
Oh,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Predictions have been all over the map. We've been asking people on Facebook, what do you think? And some people were lower than your prediction, Ashton. Some people were higher. So probably a good range.
And surprisingly right in that range, too. I think people are starting to think about the formula, how it works every year. I bet you're pretty close. We'll have to see next week.
All right.
Yeah, it's something people always talk about.
All right. Channel 2's Ashton Goodell
Ashton.
reporting live for us tonight. Thanks.